The short-term fallout is already being felt. The market today down, S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow down. Tech stocks absolutely hammered down 10% on the NASDAQ. It does deserve some context. What do we mean by down?
Now, I thought down was bad when it comes to the stock market, but I do have to admit, I'm not an expert or whatever. Is it possible down is good, Shank?
No, there's no chance that down means up. Here we are, apparently the year is 1984.
So that was Will Cain doing his best. He's, you go to war with the army you have, not the economy you necessarily wish you had. But we'll get to a little bit more of him and see if he can convince us that down is up, cats or dogs, all that stuff. And then we'll throw in some other Fox people as well.
What do we mean by down? Take a look at this 12-month chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We have returned to the average of roughly October, down from the December highs of the election of Donald Trump and down from the January highs of the first month of his second term at the presidency. We've essentially returned to the place that we were a few months before Donald Trump. This is a crisis, according to Wall Street. For decades, Donald Trump has been making this argument of restructuring the American economy so that we're not suckers and losers on the bad side of every international trade. But it's also a restructuring of not just our economy, but I would argue, and that we should see it as, a potential restructuring of the American spirit, the purpose of America.
And you know what? I don't really care about my 401k today. You know what? Not that I can afford it, not that it isn't important, not that I'm not at a point in my life when I should be worried about my 401k, because I am. But this is what I believe. I believe in this man.
I fully expected everything that has happened to continue to happen, and I am absolutely 1,000% confident that things are going to work out in the end for everybody, because it's just a smart thing to do.
Now, I'm only in my 40s. I know I look a lot younger, but I've never seen a president stand up to Wall Street. Have you? Trump just stared the market right in the face while it sold off 4%. It's like sending your screwed up son to a military academy.
I don't even know what point he's, do straws again. You make more sense when you talk about straws and soup. Anyway, so that's all nonsense. So Will Cain is saying we have to have a restructuring of the American spirit, whereas before, when the economy tanked, you got mad at those in power. We need a spirit where you just shut up about it, okay? Stop complaining. And sometimes quite literally, of course, Charlie Kirk telling people to shut up about the egg prices and all that. Again, this is not how they were acting when Joe Biden was in charge. And in fact, when we had, like, for 2 days mid last year, there was a less good than expected jobs report. And then Japan did a thing with their stock market where we had a dip for like 48 hours. Fox News went wall to wall Kamala crash. It was her, it was Kamalanomics, it was her wrecking everything. Where was the restructuring of the American spirit? Where was the JEANINE Pirrro saying she's not worried about her 401k? Declining to mention that she makes an estimated $3 million a year, by the way, so she'll probably be fine either way. No, everybody now, you need to shut the hell up about it, okay?
Yeah, so but there's hilarious, I don't know if you guys caught it, but when Jesse Waters said, it's like sending your screw-up son to a military academy. Do you know what happened to Trump in high school? His dad sent him to a military academy because he was a screw up. That's why he hides his grades from high school and college, because his dad got him into all those schools. He's a giant screw up. He has no idea what he's doing. Guys, look, we went over this a billion times, but people always forget, like the right wing just doesn't believe it. You tell them, they don't believe it, right? That not all of them, but a lot of them, right? As you can see here, a lot of them. And then a lot of independents just don't know. He had 6 major bankruptcies because he doesn't know how to run anything except his mouth. He's good at running his mouth, right? So, and that marketing has helped him to be able to build up the Trump brand and then sell his name to put on buildings for like 10 million, 20 million, and that's not bad. He's good at marketing, right? And that's how he got to be president. But the reason why he has to license things now, because he can't actually build anything. So when he builds something, it goes bankrupt every time. The knuckle had 3 casinos in the same city, and it was Atlantic City. They all went bankrupt. He's the only one who's ever gone bankrupt with casinos. There's literally a saying that says the house always wins. Asterisk, unless it's run by Donald Trump. All 3 of them Okay, so he has no earthly idea what he's, and then he's like, now America has a new purpose? I thought America's purpose was pretty clear. Opportunity, hope, the American dream, all those things. So what's our new purpose? To recover from this disaster? Like, why did we need that new purpose? How about we skip the disaster and continue going? Look, I'm the last person to defend Wall Street. So I get this propaganda that they're doing, this little marketing trick that these right-wing media guys are doing, which is like, oh, I guess you're defending Wall Street now. We're for the average American. How does crashing the markets blindly, without any purpose, help the average guy?
While jacking up prices.
Jacking up prices, of course. Like that means your prices are going to go up. So, and John's 100% right about the hypocrisy. Don't tell me that when the market dips for a little bit, for a couple of days under Biden, you guys are, the markets are crashing because of Biden, Kamala, right? And I don't pretend you didn't do that, because we could pull up 2,000 clips from Fox News and online shows all doing that, right? And then imagine if this happened under Biden. Oh my God, this kind of epic collapse of the market. Biden led to the depression. Biden is the worst. So I'm so sick of like 90% of media lying nonstop. I'm so sick of it. So now down is up, and America has this wonderful opportunity because we can recover from this crash. How's that a wonderful opportunity? He created the crash. We didn't have it 2 days ago. This is so, it's like everything is Orwellian, everything is Alice in Wonderland. But guys, there is a reality. And the reality is, like, this is not targeted tariffs. This is not a targeted attack on one particular industry that needs to be reined in or regulated, like health insurance. This is a blind nuclear attack against the entire world trade, which makes no sense. The only dumbass who's ever believed in it, it's true that he's believed in it for 40 years, but the only one who's ever believed in it is Trump. And Trump is the idiot who keeps saying, like, in 1890, we didn't have to pay income tax. We just had tariffs. You think we have the same economy as 1890? And by the way, you know what happened in 1890? The Republicans got slaughtered because they did tariffs. So like, okay, all right. Hey, by the way, just like I said to the Democrats, who told me, oh, Biden is young and dynamic. We're gonna kill it with Biden. Oh, he's in the 30s, who cares? Oh, 30s is the new 60s. Was it? Was it? Okay, so they lived in their deranged bubble. Sorry if you were in there, I love you, but that bubble was so thick and I couldn't get through to you. I couldn't get through to you. You really thought that his approval wasn't in the 30s, his age was. No, okay? So now I'm addressing the right wing. You guys are in a crazy bubble where up is down and down is up. No, this is not some sort of secret genius move. He's just crashing the economy for no goddamn reason. And the tariffs will never last, and this is all about the tax cuts. All right, yes.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're working so hard just to convince us of something that is so clearly obvious. It's an insult to all of our intelligence. It's an insult to them. It's making them look dumb. And to your point, Cenk, if Joe Biden had done something like this, I can guarantee you that we wouldn't be here on the show trying to tell people that up is down and down is up. We would say this is crazy. We would be saying probably very similar things to what we're saying right now. And that's what's so frustrating about the right wing. And from people on Fox News and other people who are trying to defend a lot of what Trump is doing right now in this administration, they keep saying that there is going to be short-term pain. How short-term are we talking? Like, how short-term is short-term? No one will say, because no one knows. And no one knows how or when these long-term gains that they keep telling us about are actually going to be realized. Like, how long does it take to actually build a factory and get it up and running and profitable? Republicans are confused about all of this, and they're trying to make sense of it out of all of this uncertainty, because as you mentioned at the start of the last story, John, some of them are admitting that they're confused, especially because according to analysts and economists, the effects that we're already seeing are so much worse than they were projected to be, partly because the scope and severity of the tariffs are so much worse than what anyone thought they would be also. But others are pretending that they actually get what Trump is trying to do and that they support it. Trump has always done a great job of priming his base for whatever it is that he's about to do next, right? He amps up his rhetoric well in advance. Just an example, if he wanted to tariff and then annex Canada, our neighbor and ally, easy. He just blamed them for supporting drug cartels and flooding our streets with fentanyl months before he suggested just taking the country over and tanking their entire economy. He provides, very little to no evidence that any of this is happening, but that's enough for him, for his base to get behind this idea that Canada is a problem that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, 100%, and they'd go along with it. They would cheer the invasion of Canada while also posting memes about how Donald Trump is anti-war. It's the same pattern that we've heard for a long time.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.